Hi friends, it's Becky, and I am currently waiting for my October bargain bead box to be delivered. It gets here today. I'm really excited to share it with you. As soon as I get it, I will do an unboxing and upload it here. But while I'm waiting, because I am waiting very patiently for that, I thought I would pull out the companion bundle that I got for the September bargain bead box. And the companion bundles are limited in quantity. They sell out very quickly, so it's not currently available. But I will put a link to my unboxing, and I show you all of the product codes on the bags. So if there are any that are still available of the items that were in that box to be purchased, that would be at beadboxbargains.com. So it's possible that they might have some of these still available. I think the Larvikite beads all sold out. That's these stars, really beautiful stars, but I thought I would do a little bit of a project with y'all while we're waiting. And one of the things that I was really excited about were these bail beads that came in that box. They're just basically like daisy spacers with a loop on the end. So they make fantastic little beads to put in between some other beads while they're being strung, and then to hang charms or dangles from. So I'm going to be pulling these guys out, and I don't know how many I'm going to need. We'll figure that out. And then I really wanted to use these like football-y shaped beads that have the AB finish on them, or the rainbow iris finish, sorry, not AB. So I was gonna grab these and some of these dark guys up here in the corner, and then make some, oof, come on buddy. There we go. And just make some little dangles with these stars here. And some head pins. Now these head pins did not come in this box. They're from my stash, but I think we're gonna do most of these others, and I'm just gonna connect these dangles that I make from here to the bail beads, and then we'll string all of these together. So we'll just get that. We'll do this whole project all in one go. No cuts, no edits, just all of it together. Just to spend some time making things together. So I hope you are looking forward to that. Let me get all these guys out of here. I'm going to need a closure, so let's get this there. And I mean, I could use some of these as dangles too, or maybe some of these. But I'm really feeling the stars, so I think I'm going to go for the stars, and we'll do a different project with those later. But then these moonstones as well. So the stars and moonstones, and then these guys will be strung on there. And let's get some stringing material out. How about, where is it? Soft flex. Sorry. I had some right here, and then I had to clear off my desk to find the head pins, because they got set aside with some other things, and while I was cleaning off my desk, the wire that I was going to use got set somewhere else. So let's find a nice color wire that will go well with this. I think I wanted, I had it right here. It was the blue lapis color. Oh, it's right here. It was on the other side of my desk. Okay, so blue lapis wire, and I have some crimp tubes. Let's see, we're gonna need some tools for cutting wire. We're going to need, let's do some chain nose pliers, some round nose pliers, and some wire cutters. And then I'm going to also need something for crimping. So my favorite way of crimping is using my magical crimpers, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But I think what I want to do is just get started on this. Let's make our dangles first. Let's set these guys aside for now and make our dangles. And then we can start stringing once those are done. Let's do 7 dangles. I just like saying the word dangles. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Set those aside later. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I can probably make a bracelet with some of these other ones if I wanted to, and probably will. Let's see how long this takes. Maybe I'll have time for bracelets afterwards. But let's cut the end of this moonstone strand so we can get some of these guys off of here. And I'm just gonna start putting these on these ball head pins. Got my little moonstone down at the bottom, a little star, and then another moonstone. You know what? There's a different gemstone that was in here I bet would also look really great with these. Maybe this one? Is that gonna go with some of these others? No, I know. All right, so we're gonna keep those, but how about if we do it like this? Yep, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, now I'm going to need to wrap my loop after I get it on here. So I'm just using those pliers to bend it, and I bend over the top of the pliers, so that leaves a little space down here for wrapping. And I want to have enough wire for wrapping, so we're going to start with kind of a rounder, a smaller loop. And then we're going to attach it to the bail before we start looping it around. Close this. And I'm using my finger to kind of push the wire around. I use some pliers too. Okay. Tuck carefully. This moonstone is going to be delicate. You don't want to break your gemstones. There you go. So that's one dangle. Let's do a few more. All right. One of these rounds, the star bead. Straighten that a little bit more, and the moonstone. All right. I'm bending that just a little bit, and then bring that over the top. When it comes over the top, I like to rotate it around so I can bring the loop all the way around. Once it's crossed like that, That's when I can attach it here. You could make all of these loops, these wrapped loops, and then use some jump rings to connect them together. I don't have as much leverage with my fingers since this is a shorter piece of wire. So I'm using a second pair of pliers to move my wire around that neck. There we go. That looks much better. So I found a really cool account on Instagram. It's this guy who works at Austin Pets Alive. It's an animal shelter here in Austin, and it's called Will It Dangle? And I highly encourage, if you like watching antics with pets, and you like supporting shelters and things like that, I highly encourage you to check it out, because he picks up like shelter dogs and shelter cats and just sees if they'll dangle, if they'll let him hold them. And I think it's using social media to highlight adoptable animals is such a great use for that that type of social media, because it's so difficult for potential adopters to imagine a pet in their family or in their home, or being who they are, if all they have are photos, if they don't actually get to see how silly some of these dogs can be, or how patient they can be when somebody picks them up and dangles them, or they get to see them doing silly things. It's a little bit easier to visualize those dogs or cats being comfortable in their home when they can see them doing fun or silly or just social things on social media. And so I think that that's a fantastic account for that. And it was so much fun to watch that earlier today. And I think this month is, I think I heard National Rescue Dog Month or Rescue Pet Month. And so, it's a good time if you are looking for a friend to check out the shelters and see who's there, who may fill your life with fun and snuggles and lots of hair all over everything. Ooh, yes. There we go. So we're just doing our dangles, and then once the dangles are done, we can start stringing. Oh, I was just making it a little difficult. That's okay. They don't need pretty dangles. They just need to do the job. Also wanted to give a shout out to my friends in Florida who may be in the path of Milton. And just let them know that I am thinking about them. I'm hoping that they are safe and well. It's just, hurricane season is the worst. Like, I'm in Texas. I know we get hurricanes here too, but like, geez. As if that wasn't, it's not the worst time of year for that. Because a lot of times it's right before the holiday season, and like the last thing you need is to have your home be like flooded or destroyed, or having to replace like your roof or your windows. And I know there's a lot worse things that could happen besides that, but it's just not always the funnest time for those who are affected by severe weather. And yeah, it's not great. All those folks in North Carolina, think about them as well, because they're still trying to dig out from under the mud and get things figured out. A lot of people to be thinking about lately, and hoping that things are going better for them. Maybe a little bit better today than it was yesterday. That's my hope anyway. Today is going to be better than yesterday for everyone. Even if yesterday was a great day, I hope today's better. Which I know is a really big task for Monday. Oof, I'm going to be fighting airport traffic later today. During rush hour, which will be fun. That was great timing on that flight. Oof, there we go. I'm just picking my son up. He's coming home. He was gone this weekend. I'm not going anywhere. I will be right here all week. There we go. All right, so I've got all of my dangles made. Oh, you know what, buds? I think we're gonna pop these guys in here too. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's have these two, and then around, and then a dangle, and then this, two of those. Dangle and dangle. Just laying it out so I know where I'm going with it. This will be fun. This will be super fun. Oh. 230. 230, okay. Here. Planning it out. The planning stages are always the funnest, I think. And then if I run out of dangles, let's pull out some copper spacers to put in there. So I think that will be great for the front of this necklace. Let's string that on, see how long it is, and then we can figure out how much longer we need to make it on either side. I'm going to leave the wire on the spool and start stringing from that end. That way we can figure that all out as we go. Another fun thing to do with bail beads is to have that be the spot on a stretch bracelet that hides the knot, and then attach a little charm to it on your stretch bracelet. I'm missing a couple of these in my lineup. I'm glad I caught that before I started stringing. But I actually also have an idea for things to make with these links and these beads and that bead all together. I think that's going to look fantastic. Maybe if we have time today. Except this is my lunch break, and I will need to get back to work. Oh. I pulled that from the wrong spot. But take a look at the way that that dangles. I'm loving those guys so far. Absolutely loving them. And yeah, I've got some spacers that I think will fit the bill to make up for all that a little bit. So let's pull those out in preparation, because I am going to need to make it a little bit longer just without the dangles in the back. And there was a companion bundle that they released for the October box. It was only up for a short amount of time before it sold out. They listed it on the website with a spoiler photo cover, so that if you wanted to be surprised about colors and things that were in the box, you could just add it to cart without looking, which I think is really a clever way to do it. But that's just going to be the version 1 of the companion bundles. They usually come up with more than one version. This was version 2. If you saw Amy over at Campbell Creations, she did an unboxing of version 3, which looked really great. I love some of the things she got in that one. So if you hadn't seen what was in the version 3, go hop over to her channel and take a look at that unboxing. think it's kind of fun that there are those different versions, because then, you know, variety. And while you may feel a little bit of FOMO if you got like version 1 and then version 2 and 3 came out and you weren't able to get those, you know, it's nice to have extra options, especially if version 1 sells out and you were really looking forward to it, then to have a version 2 come available so that you could actually participate in getting that is it's really great that they try to make more of them, even if they're not exactly the same, so that more people can get them and experience the joy of having those extra bead boxes. There we go. It is so dangly. I love that. All right, so I'm definitely going to need to carry some up the sides. So let's grab these daisy spacers here. And I'm going to do another repeat on this side. Yes. There we go. I think that works pretty well for continuing that pattern. And I'm glad I decided to add the moonstones here to this because it gives us a little extra oomph, a little extra bits and pieces. Gives us extra length. Even if it's just 3 millimeters at a time, they add up. They really do. Oh, I forgot to put this guy in between them. Our little fluted ellipse. I know that's not the name of the bead, but that's what it is in my head. Okay. And I'm just going to pop this guy on there and see where this leaves us for, ooh, yeah, that's going to be a great length, I think. Just right there at the end. Okay, so let's get ourselves enough wire to string some more. And also do some crimping. And I'm just going to grab a little bead stopper for this one so it doesn't go flying off in case, you know, catastrophic letting go of things happens. Sometimes you have to let go of things or things will go flying. I don't know if you guys ever just randomly have things go bloop right out of your hands, but it happens to me a lot. Probably more than most people. So I try to make sure that I'm ready. I end up using little bead stoppers like that a lot. I actually have several, like this isn't even all of them. I've got 2 more of these that have them, and like I use all of them. It's pretty crazy. I think if there's like, if I had a list of like the 2 or 3 tools that I couldn't do anything without, the first would be like chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and flush cutters. And then right after that, is going to be bead stoppers, because oh boy, it saved me so many times from having absolute disasters. Nobody likes disasters. Right. And then I get one more of those because I had 1, 2, 3, and then we have one more. These guys. This is just from my stash. It's just a little selection of different spacers in antique copper. You've got these little round guys. You've got some of these textured ones. I'll try and find the link to where I got them from. I'm pretty sure it was from Amazon. You've got some larger daisies. You've got these textured guys here. And then you've got like actual flower spacers. It's kind of cute. It's kind of fun. But it sure comes in handy sometimes to have extra spacers when you need them. All right. Oh, yes. There you go. Bale beads. They are so fantastic. All right. Let's get this connected with our copper tube, crimp tube. These are 2x2 crimp tubes, 2mm by 2mm. That's what works with a magical crimper. And the medium soft flex wire is perfect for that as well. Just go through the tube, put it through my round part. Make a loop, and I find with the soft flex wire that I do not need wire guardians. The coating on this wire is durable enough that it doesn't rub off very easily or very well. And let's just zoom in a little bit for crimping. If you haven't seen the magical crimpers, there's this concavity on the inside of both sides of this, which is why 2x2 crimp tube is the one that you want to use for this. You want to center it in that concavity. Give it a smush, and it just smushes down the corners of that crimp tube. And then if you rotate it and give it a smush, rotate it and give it a smush, and just go around and rotate it from all angles. When you feel like there's no more resistance, do that. It's smushed down all of the edges. It's a very strong crimp, and it's ready to go. It is my favorite way of crimping because it's so smooth. You don't need a crimp cover. It looks like just a little ball of crimp. I'm just going to scooch these beads on top of my wire. Clip off my excess. And take up some of that slack. But not all of it, because I would like this to be a necklace that has some movement. So I'm just bending it. By bending it, it moves along a little ways. And then I can crimp the other side. I'm just going to make a loop and then use a jump ring to attach the toggle part of my clasp, because I like for there to be at least one, maybe two jump rings between the beads and this part of the toggle, so that it has more articulation and it just works better. You don't have to struggle as much with your toggle. And it's going to take a little bit of finessing because the copper tubes tend to be a little bit thicker walled, and that's totally fine. It just means they're stronger, but it also means sometimes there's a little more resistance when putting that through. Okay. Just comparing the sizes of my loops. That is a good size for my loop. And this is right up against this bead. So I'm just going to wiggle with my thumb to create a little bit of space. That way I can get the crimper centered around the crimp. And sometimes, again, with the copper, they stick in the crimper. It takes a little bit of finesse to get it out. There we go. Yeah, just wiggle your fingernail between the crimp and the bead, and that gives you enough room for it. And now this is all movie. I can grab a jump ring or two. To connect that to it. All right, let's get these jump rings connected. Looks like it's already open. I'm just going to open it a little bit wider. You want to hold one end and twist it open. And then hold that end and twist it closed so that the both ends go up together. And here's the other one. Put that loop on there and the other jump ring and close these up. There we go. Oop. All right. Perfect. That was a really fun thing to do while I'm waiting for my next bargain bead box. I'm going to put a link in the description to Bead Box Bargains, where I got these from, as well as my unboxing, so that you can see all of the items that came in here. And I'll also put a link to Bargain Bead Box. If you are not a subscriber, it is one of the best value for money bead boxes that you're going to find out there. It's always very, very beautifully curated, and you get a 30% off coupon for shopping at their sister store, Bead Box Bargains. It's very, very worth it. I spend way too much money there, even with the 30% off coupon, just because they're such good deals. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a fantastic week so far. I hope you're staying safe if you're in the path of any weather, and I hope that you will come back and watch some more of these with me. As always, happy beading. Bye.